Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am pumped to come to you today with another fresh new episode for you. We are joined with a great guest, Jesus Nieto out of Highland Landscaping in Texas. Man, I'm super pumped for this. Jesus, thanks for coming on to the show today, brother. I'm excited to hear your story and your growth journey that you're in right now. It's cold across the country, but not as cold where you. It's cold for y'all, but not super duper cold. Tell us how you doing today, buddy.
Doing great, man. Appreciate you for having me on. Yeah, no, we're about 45 degrees, so we're good. It's cold for us, but not what everybody else is feeling right now.
What is your average? Like, what's your average temp through the winter?
This is about as cold as we get. You know, I mean, we probably get in the 40s. A cold day for us will be 32 degrees, and we're shutting down Houston. Yeah.
Really?
Good ice, man. It's over. Nobody's going out.
So is that where you're at, Houston?
We're a little bit south, about 30 minutes out of downtown area. So, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'm excited, buddy. This is just going to be free-flowing, having a good time hanging out, talking today. But I want to hear your story. I want to hear your journey and kind of how you've gotten to where you're at today. There's a lot of things that have brought you here. There's a lot of things that you're learning day to day. I get to see some of the things you post on LinkedIn, your community involvement with Landscaper and what they're building. So I'm pumped. I love seeing your stuff on Instagram, and I'm really excited. So take us through the journey, man. Walk us through the beginning of kind of how you got started, and then let's catch up to today. And I'm excited to talk through your operations, your leadership, what all you're doing to grow a successful business.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we're out of south of Houston, Texas. We started this back in 2020, and it's kind of one of those things. I was out working. We're big, Texas is big on oil and refineries down here. So, I was doing a quality control for LNG down here for some years, building these big refinery plants. And so had a great career, great job, great paying career. But the problem there was that I was so involved in these projects that as my first little girl, before I knew it, she was 3 years old. And I remember sitting down in my office, and stressful day. I was just ready to go home, and I'm scrolling through YouTube, and there's Brian's law maintenance with some headphones on talking about.
Don't give him that kind of credit.
Yeah,
don't give him that kind of credit.
Right. And it's just I'm just like, dude, this guy's out here just mowing, enjoying life, and I'm in this office, stressful job. I haven't seen my family in probably 2 or 3 weeks, and just decided one day we got home, and it just decided, hey man, it's time to change. It's time to do something different. I told my wife about it, and she was on board, and it has been, up and down since then.
Yeah, that's amazing. So how long did it take you to, like, when did you go, once you saw that video, how long did it take you to go kind of full-time into it after that?
It took about 4 months. Yeah, it took about 4 months. I was going to finish that.
So you went quick.
Yeah, no, we moved fast, man. It was just, it's time to do it, and let's do it. And, first year I went from, 6-figure job to our first year mowing, making probably like 15 or 20,000, I think was our first year that we were, when we started mowing. So it was a bunch of savings went out, ran out of savings. And I was like, all right, now we're in business now after that.
So what did that look like? I mean, so did you had one daughter at that point?
Yeah, and then the other one was already, it was 2020. Yeah, the other one was 1 year old already. So I had two.
Okay. Yeah, two.
Yeah,
okay.
So whenever the other one was born too, I was just like, man, I'm about to miss another whole 3 or 4 years of this, and which is what made us make the move as well.
So did your wife work? Was she working at that point?
No,
or was it all your income?
She was a stay-at-home mom ever since.
No way.
Yeah. So she once we hit a little bump, and she went back to work for a little bit, and it probably took, she probably worked for like 3 months, and then we figured, we didn't know anything about numbers, and then we figured out like, hey, you're driving this far, you're making this much. I'm paying you to go to work.
Yeah, so literally.
Like, yeah. I was like,
and the time involved, time away from the kids and stuff. Yeah.
I think it was just for her, it was just like she wanted to feel like she was helping, but I was like, the biggest help you can give is just support. And she finally understood that, and she's being the biggest supporter ever.
That's amazing. What did that look like when y'all made that transition over? That's not easy to do. Did you have a pretty good amount of savings saved up? Did it give you some padding there? As open as you want to be with that, but like, how did you make that journey? Because there's a lot of guys out there who get hung up in that they stay part-time in a career for 3, 4, 5 years because they can't make the jump. They can't get their head in the right space to do it and believe in themselves. But you did that with a wife and 2 kids in 4 months, right? So there had to be some catalysts there that kind of helped push that forward. What were some of those?
Dude, we had a little bit of savings, that could probably get us through about 3 or 4 months of our bills.
So you didn't have anything crazy?
No, it wasn't like, oh, we're stacking cash. No, because I mean, I was making great money, but at the same time, I was, we're burning cash because my wife was at home.
Yeah.
I was never around. So it's like, hey, spend time, go shopping, go do this, go do that.
Yeah.
Thing, So we were, we didn't have a bunch of cash reserves to be like, oh yeah, we're good for a year. No, it's kind of more of a risk taker. It's just that's how I've been. I mean, I had one business before that we failed completely. And so I think that taught me that, hey, I failed the business once already. I got back up in 6 months after that business failed, as in I was able to, put some money, get a job and get some money going and all that stuff. And so this leap wasn't too hard for us just because we've already done it once.
Yeah. That's
so
amazing.
Yeah.
What was your prior business? What was your prior business?
Yeah. So before we were doing like accessories for vehicles. So we would lift trucks, sell wheels, tires, suspensions, audio, all that cool stuff that you see on these big trucks.
Yeah.
We used to do that. Yeah. But I was too young, man. We didn't know anything about business. We'll do a project and $20,000 install on a truck, and it was like, oh man, we make 20 grand. Well, no, we still had to pay everything else. So
yeah, the things that no one thinks about.
Yeah, man, we were young. I didn't know anything about it.
So why landscape? So you saw Brian's videos there, but walk through that 4 months there. What was that process like for you? Did you go buy some equipment? Did you?
No, I feel like it was
like, how did that work?
I feel like with the landscaping thing, it was just easy entry, right? Like everybody else, you go get a mower, you get a couple of weed whackers. So because we always lived on property, so I already had a 60-inch mower. It was a residential mower that we were using, and then I had one weed whacker, battery powered Home Depot Ryobi weed whacker.
No way.
And and then I had like this little handheld Craftsman blower. So we started with that. That was our beginnings. So I would go mow my dad's yard, which is a couple acres too. So I already had a 12-foot trailer as well. So, and then I had the big trucks. We live in Texas. Everybody drives trucks here.
Yeah.
So we just started from that, man. Threw a couple of signs on it. My first company was called Alex Lawn Maintenance, right? Because Brian was like, oh, yeah, this is cool. And
so do you go by Alex?
Yeah, that's my middle name because my middle name is Alejandro.
Okay.
So everybody calls me Alex.
Okay. Well, I introduced you as Jesus because I see that's your name on LinkedIn. So I'm like, and
yeah,
we talk all the time, but I don't know that I've ever actually addressed you. So like, I don't. We know each other, so I go talk to you.
Yeah.
So you go by Alex if someone's going to address you?
I go by Alex. Go by Jesus. Either or.
Okay.
Easier.
Interchangeable.
Yeah, it don't matter. You scream both names, I'm gonna turn around.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. So, so were you born here? Were you born, or are you are you an immigrant?
No, I was born here in Galveston. Yeah,
really?
My parents were immigrants, but I was
so you're first generation U.S.
First generation, yeah.
That's amazing. Yep. Such a cool story. There is something about the culture that probably your parents grew up in and have instilled in you a little bit that I see because we have some local guys. A buddy of mine, his name is I'm just totally blanking. Ramirez is his last name. Ramy. Ramy's Landscape is his company name. And so he is just an amazing guy, has Hispanic roots, and y'all remind me so much of each other because like your drive is just so like it's just like you just figure it out and get it done. It's just a get it done mentality. And because you talk like this, like I started with a push mower and a residential weed eater and these things that like you can't actually run a business with these things like but you just did it like you didn't get caught up in the I don't have this.
I was running out of battery on my little Ryobi weed whacker. It was one of those the head flips on it.
Yeah.
And then you start edging with it.
Oh my goodness.
mid mow, I was like, dang it.
So what is it like? What do you think? Maybe like, is there something in your brain? Like, what is it that teaches you or that gives you that drive just to go do it? Because again, I think it's not strictly a race thing, or I don't want to get into that.
No, for sure.
But it is a common trend, right? Like
it's a culture thing for sure. I think
it's a culture.
I think well, my dad coming here, he's worked his butt off all his life, right? And came here, got his citizenship and all that stuff, has a great career, has a great position in the company. But I started working with him since I was actually working with him in the refineries when I turned 18.
Really?
But whenever I was young, at 15 years old, my first job was at Chick-fil-A. I didn't ask for a job. Yeah. Like my dad and my mom knew the managers from Chick-fil-A. They went in there for me. They're like, hey, can you hire my son? They're like, yeah, we'll hire him. I got home from school. My dad got home from work, and my dad's like, "Hey, you're gonna start on Monday. I need you to go to Chick-fil-A. You're going to work." And I'm just like, I didn't ask for a job. They're like, "Well, it doesn't matter if you ask for a job or not, buddy. You're 15. You're ready to go."
I love it. Yeah.
So that was always been embedded in my brain to work hard. If you want to have things, you want to have a good life, you have to work for it, right? So it's just a culture thing. My dad's always just been that way until the day that was one of the problems when I was in the refineries that I've never really saw my family or anything like that because I was an overtime guy. I'll be at work and they'll call me, "Hey man, we're gonna need you to stay 14 hours, 16-hour shifts today." And I'll be like, "Yeah, sure." And that was, it'll go on for a week or two.
That was just normal. Yeah.
Yeah, that was normal. And to me, it's always been normal. That's to work every day. That's just what's embedded in my brain ever since I was growing up. So I think it's a big thing.
How have you done that? How have you kind of managed that, and not turned it into where you just work all the time and that's all you do? Because you have a family now, right? Like you don't want to throw your family away.
Well, I did that, right?
So how do you manage that?
Well, Landscaper was one of the things that taught me that. I didn't know that. So I forgot about why I started the business, which was I wanted to spend time with my family throughout the years, and ended up working basically 7 days again, like I was out there in the plants, and forgetting about why I started the business.
Yeah.
So I was again leaving at 6 a.m. with the crews. The crews would come home. I wouldn't show up in the truck until 8, 9 o'clock at night because then I had to go do estimates. I had to go meet clients. So I wasn't living. So I started feeling that same burnout I was feeling out in the refineries again. I'm like, this isn't right. I mean, I'm not liking this anymore.
Yeah.
So we were actually thinking about closing the business before Miami Landscaper. So
no way.
Yeah, no, we were going to shut it
recently?
down. Yeah. It was like March, I think, or April or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was just burned out. I was done. It was too much. We were having cash flow problems like everybody else. The work was coming in. We were doing a lot of work, but we didn't have a good culture. Guys were missing. Guys were breaking things. It seems like something broke every freaking day. Nobody took ownership of things.
Yeah.
And it just got really hard. So I was like, you know what? I mean, I had a great career before. I said, why am I even doing this? We weren't making any money because everything was going on either overhead because people were going over on hours and they didn't care. Yep. And then, or they was going on repairs. So, we made good amount of money one year and it's like, where's it at? They're like, oh, we're in reds because we didn't make any money. Right. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So, I plugged into Link, and one of the days that Mark Bradley was on there, and that's when he's like, "Hey, free tickets for everybody," right? And I'm like, came to my wife, and I was like, "Hey, we're going to Miami. I'm going to give this Landscaper thing a shot." And she was like, "Can we go to Miami?" I'm like, "I don't know. We'll figure it out, but we're going to go."
Figure it out, yeah.
Yeah. So we ended up figuring it out, and we got there, right? And I walked in there. the day that I got there, it was funny because they didn't have a tag for me, and I was so intimidated, man. I've never been in a room like that before.
Mm-hmm.
I was extremely intimidated. So they're like, "Hey, we don't have your tag." I was like, "Dang it!" They probably didn't get my free ticket. Then Dave shows up. He's like, "Hey, man, I got a table for you over here. They just moved you." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I walk in there, and the first person I see sitting there is Sam Gimbel next to me. Mm. I'm just like, all right, I'm acting like I don't know this guy, but dude, I follow this guy forever.
Yeah.
And that just changed me because they just the whole people talk, right? And then I started talking to Sam Gimbel. He just started treating me right away like I was part of his company. He's just such a great dude. And we're talking to his wife Brandy. She's awesome too. And I started asking him questions. And I find out that everybody has been through what I was going through, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't alone in this. I thought I was just the idiot that didn't know what the heck I was doing. So I came out of there, and first thing I tell my wife, I'm like, "Hey, you know what? Sky's the limit. We ain't closing nothing. We're going after it." And after that, dude, it's completely changed my life. That's why I preach Leanscaper. Some people are like, "Dude, is it like a cult or something for you?" I'm like, "Dude, you call it whatever."
it does look that way a little bit.
Yeah,
that's how impactful it is.
No, dude, seriously, I'm like, you call it whatever you want. I said, but this thing is working. It's changed my life. I've learned how to live an integrated life. You know, I homeschool my girls. We go out on vacations. They go with me to the Leanscaper events a lot of the times. And it's just, I've learned to integrate my life with my business. There's no real life, business and work, personal life and business balance. You have to learn how to integrate that together. So it's been a huge impact on me.
That's so cool. So, okay, well, let's transition a little bit. And this kind of come full circle.
Yeah.
Let's transition a little bit over into your actual business. What does that look like? What are you doing day to day? How quickly did you grow? So 2020, like the business is not that old.
No, I mean, we're right now we stuck in the 300,000s, 280, 300 for the years, right? Mm-hmm. After Miami, we slammed on the brakes and we ended up almost hitting that $500,000 mark this year. After we slammed the brakes on everything, we let go of people because we had that's what I'm saying. We wasted so much money on overhead. I think we were a $300,000 business with 8 guys. Like how are we even paying for that, right?
Yeah, man, that hits home. Like I've gone through that exact thing. That's
it's tough.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, you think like, hey, I got this job, I need help. You hire somebody else, and all of a sudden now he's another guy on the payroll. You're not thinking about that when you get in that job. The job is going to last you a week or so, and then what are you going to do the rest of it? Just can't let them go.
Yep.
And
so you figure out some way to pay for them, but then you lose money at the detriment of your company.
Exactly. And if you don't have any sales strategy or nothing, it's hard.
Yep.
But so this. After Leanscaper, we slammed on the brakes. We ended up growing more with less guys. So we were a five-man team after that. And almost hitting that $500,000 mark with just basically maintenance because we weren't even doing any landscaping much. Just because I wanted to really focus on building that maintenance department.
Yeah.
But that's what we focused on last year. We got a great guy behind that. He's been with me at the events. His name's Brian. He's handling all that now. Basically, all I do is scheduling, which I will end up passing it on to him eventually. After Leanscaper as well, it took me a week and a half, I think. Yeah. It took about a week and a half for me to say, I'm not going out in the field anymore. So I stopped going in the field completely. I don't go out there. I think last year I only ended up in the field 3 or 4 times, maybe. And that's because I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I did that because I wanted the guys to not feel like I'm there to save them every time, because that's what it was feeling, right? They wouldn't come in and they weren't worried about it. Like the crew leader wasn't worried about it because I was going to go out there and save them. Mm-hmm. Jesus is going to come with us. It's all cool. So when I did that, it's like, all right, now there's accountability. Now the crew leader's like, all right, now I have to work harder.
Yeah.
Because this guy's not showing up. So now I was like, hey, man, I need you to be coming in. And he'll report to me more like, hey, this guy's not showing up and this and that. So that completely changed the game for us as well. Just little things like the system with the morning rollouts. We were at an hour on our morning rollouts every morning. Now we're at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just little things like that builds efficiency, builds trust, and then it builds a culture. which is what we focus on a lot.
So yeah, how have you seen culture shift? Like, has it been like a wave since you got out of the field? Has it been a steady upwards motion? How has that worked?
It's
Have you
been a
done a good
steady
job
up.
of? Yeah.
It's been a steady up motion for us, honestly. Just to be straight up honest, yeah, it's been.
So you getting out of the field made culture be better. That's crazy.
Made culture way better. It gave the crew leaders empowerment. They felt like they're part of something, that they're building something now, and that they have some power. And then also it gave us trust, right? I'm like, hey, we're here to build this together. I'm not here to boss you around. I'm not here because you needed a job. No, we're here to build something. So we're going to keep on building together. So I'm going to give you the trust to do, they're going to mess up, but hey, I really live off that 80%. If you can do it at 80%, we're good. Let's keep rolling.
That's good. So just shy of 500,000 last year and primarily maintenance. What does this year look like going forward? Sky's the limit. You're coming up on a year now since your first landscaper. So what is your planning looking like for 2026?
This year we're budgeting at 750. That's our goal.
That's awesome.
We were, everybody wanted the big $1 million number. Well, after Sam's event out in Michigan, when he did the whole shop tour and everything, which was really cool. We stayed afterwards. We became good friends. He invited me to his house. We went to go see one of his little girls play. They had like a play or whatever, which was
really that's nice awesome. Well.
So I went to his house. We had dinner and stuff, and we were talking. And I'm like, hey, what's the next step? Because everybody talks about the $1 million mark or $1.5 million. But if you're at $500,000, what's the real number that's next before your system breaks again? And he found that his system broke at 500, and then it broke again at 750.
Yep.
He's like, you need to hit that 750 mark before you can hit that 1.2. There's no real $1 million mark. It's either 750 or you're at 1.2, 1.3.
Yep.
So I'm like,
that's funny. That's crazy. That's crazy accurate. Like we feel that we came in at 630, 640 last year. And we had some stuff break that 500 to 600 range. And we're prepped. I think we're prepped for that 750 range. And now we're shooting for 1.3. But I know that 1.3 will be our like cap out for this year. Like we have to redefine and change everything going forward after that, in a sense of like, what works is going to stay the same, but there's going to be things that worked to get us to 1.3 that won't work to get us to 2, right?
Oh yeah, no, the system's going to break and you're going to have to go back in there and refine it. It's just a work in progress thing, like Mark talks about it, right? I used to think like it was like, well, you said it and that's it. This is the way it's going to be. Well, no, it changes a lot.
Multi-steps for sure. So you are like the prime example of, hey, get in the right room, get around the right people, look at what it can do to your business. Talk to the guys out there who maybe are struggling a little bit, like they don't have cash, they don't they feel burnt out, they don't even know what they're doing it for, because it doesn't sound like you had a lot of cash sitting around to go to Miami, right? But it obviously changed your life.
Yeah, no, it did. We just had to learn to deal with it, right? I mean, it wasn't like we're going to go to Miami and we're going to have an amazing trip. It was like, hey, we're going to go to Miami. We're going to probably have to plan out our meals kind of thing. And we're tight on cash, but we're going to make it happen. It's just. That's
so vulnerable too. Like, I appreciate you sharing that, because it's so easy to get caught up in like they're going on all these trips. They're doing all this. They're making so much money. Like, that's not the case. Like, that is not the case. It's just,
no, it's not.
It's just making an investment into your future that's going to be impactful. And that one decision has now led to you changing your life, because you went to that one event, then you went to the rest of the events for the rest of the year. You went to Sam's event. You got to be around Sam Gimbel. He took you under his wing, all because you made that investment into yourself and into your company when you didn't even feel like it was necessarily doable.
No, and it's so true how you start using the right word. It's like we learned right in Arizona. It's an investment to you. It's not that you're wasting. It's not a waste of money. It's not like, I got to burn some cash to get there. No, it's invest in yourself. Like you would just go buy another trimmer. Don't buy the trimmer. How about you invest in yourself first, instead of wasting $400 on a trimmer? Waste the $400 on a hotel. And get a free ticket to go to one of these events, right? It's just, you got to prioritize yourself before the business sometimes. And that's kind of what we had to do to be able to get out of that burnout stage, because it was all about the business, and it was nothing had to do with me or my family. It was all about trying to just make ends meet, trying to make payroll. At the end
So
of the week.
what are I feel that, man. I feel that. What are some things that you've learned? Like, what are the biggest takeaways you've taken from last year heading into this year of like tangible items that you've said, hey, we have fixed this and it's made a big difference. We've worked on this and it's made a big difference. Aside from, I know you mentioned overhead and cutting employees, like you just got fat with payroll, which I think a lot of people do. Aside from that, what are some other things that you've learned?
Start caring about people instead of caring about the numbers all the time. I would always look at the numbers and it's like, no, it's about the people, right? The people around you. So you have good people around you, but sometimes those people just don't feel valued. They don't feel like, that they feel like they're there just for a job, that you're just making all this money off of them. It's not true. Explain to them, right? Be more open to these guys about how this actually works. You go do a $50 mow, you're not keeping $50. You're making
not anywhere close. Yeah.
No. Yeah. You're gonna make $4 or $5 off that one mow, right? So you need to explain to these guys how that works. Once you open up a little bit, you don't have to be completely open book. Our vision for our company is to be an open book company and end up being an employee-owned company. Yeah, and I can just own minority of the company, and they end up taking it over. That's just my vision. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So we have to be more open, right? So be open with your guys about the real things that's going on. There's no cash. If there's no cash, there's no cash. Hey man, we're low on cash. Please take care of the equipment. If you want to talk to them about, why you want to be a good person to your teammate, why you got to be a certain way with the client, train them on that. It starts with the people. It's 100% starts with the people, and just be yourself. That's one thing that Brad Stevenson told me. At Landscaper was like, and it stuck with me. It's like, just keep being you, keep being yourself, keep being genuine with everybody, and then stuff starts falling in place, and it really does, because people see that. People know when you're fake. People know when you're genuine. Yeah, you can't hide that.
What? How are you? So let's talk Landscaper a little bit, because again, this is not a Landscaper pitch. This is just a real world scenario. Like, this is not me coming and saying, "Hey guys, come to Landscaper." I know you hear us talk about like come to these events and things. Yep. This was also not prepped or planned, by the way. This was just like, hey, Jesus, let's do a podcast, right? Like, and see where we go. I didn't even know that. Like, I had no clue. I knew that you were using and implementing. I had no clue it was this impactful for you, right? That you were close to walking out in March, and so it gives me a little clarity on why you've been so like we're doing these things. Like, you're bought in, and because you feel that, like you're passionate about it. So how are you using it day to day? Talk to like the people who don't even know what Landscaper is or don't even talk about it, right? Like they haven't even checked it out yet. Again, no pitch for Landscaper, just how is Highland Landscaping using the new AI portion to make things better in your business and easier on yourself?
Yeah, so we started implementing we're doing it as Mark says to do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're so small that's one advantage that we have as a small company, right? We're a jet ski.
You can make
we can turn this thing around 360.
You can pivot quick. Yep.
Oh yeah, so fast. And it's like, hey, this is what we're doing today, and this is why we're doing it. It's just not. Yeah. It goes back to explaining to people why we're doing things, right? So with the AI thing, so I'm like, hey, while we came back from Arizona, the next day we're like, hey, we're doing the huddle on the AI app. I don't care how it comes out. It's not going to be perfect. Yep. It might be a little wonky, but that's okay. We're a work in progress, right? So we right away we threw in the huddle right away, and then we said we're not using any more WhatsApp, we're not using any more Slack, because that's what we were kind of doing.
Yeah.
For it. So I explained to them why we're using it. We showed them the lean boards. We took 45 minutes in the morning. That it's not going to cost you a fortune to explain to them why we're doing the Landscaper, implementing everything that we're learning off Landscaper. So that's one way that we've been able to actually just implement things super quick into it.
How have you bought them into that? How have you kind of sold that vision and made them, because a lot of times it's easy to get pushback. I don't want another app. I don't want another phone. I don't want to do this. Another step here, another step there. Like, how have you kind of just cast that vision and made sure that they're buying into it?
Just by the changes that I've made personally as a leader and as a person. when you're so burned out and you're so caught up in your business, you get any little thing as forgetting a string, the trimmer spool, it makes you blow up, right?
Yep.
And that was me. I was that guy. I was that leader. Like, hey, it got to the point that any little thing will make me blow up. I'll get mad. I was in a bad mood. I'll show up in the mornings. I didn't want to talk to nobody. Barely even say good morning. That was just because I was just so tired. I was just like, this sucks. This isn't working. This is not what I want, right? This is not how it should be. That was my thing. How's everybody else doing it, and how come I'm doing it this way? Why? Yeah. So whenever we started implementing Landscaper, dude, I'm telling you, it's completely changed the way that I look at things. It completely changed my leadership, and the guys saw that big change in me, and they're like, okay, this is real, because now I'm comprehensive. Now we're training. Now we're talking. Now we're trusting each other. Now we're being open about a lot of things, and now there's a bond. Now there's a culture. So it all started with me changing myself first as a person and personal mindset to be able to get them to buy into it.
That's amazing. I love that. Well, I don't want to hold you too long. We've covered a wide range of your story. Is there anything that you feel like we're leaving out that is like, hey, I want to share this. I want to talk about this. This has been an impact for me. And if that's not the case, then just some words directly towards the people that are feeling burnt out and feeling like they just don't have any money to continue to keep going.
You got to get in the right room, man. That's so true when they say that. I never knew about any of that, dude. I'm telling you, I didn't know anything about business. We grew up just grinding and hustling just like everybody else. And but you can't keep operating that way. If you're feeling burned out, it's probably because of that. You feel it. We were that company that, hey, we ran into a problem, so we try to fix it with the bigger job, right? Okay, we're gonna get a bigger job now. We're gonna be able to pay for this. We're gonna be able to make this happen. Well, that's not how it works, and you will always be miserable that way. You will start getting burned out because you're always chasing that other bigger job to save that problem that has nothing to do with that. It has to start with you, right? Yeah. So you need to just step back a little bit, press on the brakes. Sometimes going backwards 2 steps to make a huge leap. That's what it takes, right? So step back, press on the brakes, and really look at yourself in the mirror and be like, am I really being the person that I want to be? Am I really being the leader that I want to be? And then get involved in something as Link. It's $50 a month. Come on.
Yeah.
Somebody, you can afford that. Every kind of grass, just put that one house for that payment and get involved at least in that. That's just to get around the same like-minded people. And you will find out that you're not the only one that has all the problems, and that'll give you mental clarity. Because if not, you just have this fog and you feel like you're the only one going through it, and it's not like that. We've all gone through it.
Very easy to feel isolated. Very, very easy to feel isolated.
For sure.
That's
especially if you're in social media, man. Social media makes it seem like everybody has a banging business.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, new equipment here and there, get lost in that. That's one thing that I stopped worrying about was new equipment and this and that. Yeah, we buy new equipment. We buy trucks, and we like to have the nice stuff, right? Just not because we want to, I guess, like, oh, I want to have new equipment. No, it's because it makes us work more efficient. We don't want breakdowns. But it doesn't matter what mower brand you're using or whoever the heck this is better, this is other stuff's better. You got to go after what makes sense for you.
Yeah.
So we're running Hustlers, running Kubotas, we're running Gravely's. But whatever makes sense at that stage of your business is what you're going to go with.
That's right.
You just can't go after all the big stuff because somebody on the internet told you to do it that way.
Yep. That's right. You got to make the right decision for your business. You can do that. You can do that in these groups. That's the thing. Like, you can come to these groups, come to these conferences, and get around these people that they can help you answer these questions the right way.
And just learn how to ask for things. Mark Bradley talks about it all the time, and it's stuck with me since the first time he said it in Miami. Yeah. If you want it, ask for it.
Learn how to ask.
Yeah, which is one thing that I've done, and we've actually, that's what we're trying. We're thinking we're going to be at. Well, we're going to be at 750 because we're going to make the push for it. But I went in there and asked for these contracts. Like, hey man, I want HOA board members. Hey, I want this HOA. Buc-ee's gas stations. Hey, I want these gas stations. What I need to do?
Did you get some Buc-ee's?
We're working on the contracts right now. Yeah,
that's sweet.
So
yeah, we have a Buc-ee's here that I want.
Well, that's good because we need to talk about it because it's trying to be like one vendor kind of thing, and then since we have such a big connection because of Linkscaper and Link, it might sub some stuff out. So
yeah, that's awesome, fantastic.
Yeah. But it's just asking the question. Like the guy, we mowed his grass, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want?" We did some things for him. He was really happy. He's like, "Hey, what could I do to help you out and grow your business?" I'm like, "Well, I want this." Just straight up ask for it. He's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna give you the opportunity."
There you go.
So one question: just ask for what you want. The worst thing you can get is no.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All they can say is no. So, well, fantastic. Well, anything that we missed that you want to throw in here? Or you think that wraps us up pretty good?
No, I think that wraps it up. Yeah. First podcast, man. Nervous.
You did amazing, dude. You did amazing. That's so good. Well, where can you're pretty active on LinkedIn, pretty active on Instagram. Where can people follow you on Instagram and keep up with your day-to-day? Maybe honestly just reach out and like use you as a resource, ask some questions.
Yeah, for sure, man.
I know there's people that are listening that have been in your spot before.
Yeah, no, go on Instagram, we go by Highland Landscaping TX. And LinkedIn, just look for me. I say Susan Nieto on there. And I'm always, willing to help anybody that I can. I mean, we don't have a huge operations, but we've been through some rough things, and we're really bought in with Leanscaper. I mean, we're all in with Leanscaper. So anything that's changed my life, I'll be happy to share.
That's amazing. Fantastic, man. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. And again, this was not a Leanscaper pitch. This was not even planned. It was just hey, this so happens that this made a big impact. So you can go to, what I will say is we have Cape Coral coming up in March. That's the next Leanscaper event. I believe that's operations. And you can go to that event for free if it's your first time and never been before. We can get you those tickets. It's really easy to do. Just reach out and let me know, and we can get you linked up with the team there and get you down there for free. So you heard from the horse's mouth, like, go, it changed your business, right? And that'll be a year for you, right? That's gonna be a lot of
it's gonna be a year, dude, and it's pivoted 360 degrees on my business. I live a great life. I have so much time with my family that I spend now because of that integrated life. Yeah, and it's amazing. Try it. Love it, man. Give it a shot. Just give it a shot.
100%. Guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would leave us a big 5-star rating review, that would help us with the show a lot, help us continue to grow and reach a bigger audience out there. So without any further ado, guys, that's going to wrap this one up. Thanks, Jesus, for coming on, and appreciate you on the next one. See you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.